What's going on? In this video, I'm going to show you how to test products using only $5 a day Facebook ads. And then I'm going to show you a new strategy I've been using to scale with $5 a day Facebook ads to $200,000 in under 3 months. What's going on? Braden here. I'm super excited for today's video. We're going to jump into the computer and I'm going to show you how to test products using only $5 a day Facebook ads. This is working very, very well right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you a new strategy I've been using that's actually had a very, very big impact on me taking my new store to $200,000 in under 3 months. I've been using $5 a day Facebook ads to do that. I'm going to go ahead and completely detail that out for you. But before we jump into the computer and get into it, if you guys could please do me a huge favor, smash that like button down below, hit subscribe if you haven't already, definitely leave a comment. I check all comments and I reply to all questions within the first hour of the video uploaded. All right, let's jump into the computer and get into it. All right, so first I'm gonna go ahead and detail the testing strategy, how to actually test and how I'm testing right now using $5 a day Facebook ads. And then we're gonna jump into another screen and I'm gonna show you how to actually use this to scale to very, very big numbers using only $5 a day Facebook ads. So one thing to note, because I know I'm gonna get this question, is should you only use $5 a day Facebook ads? And the short answer is no. I am using $5 a day Facebook ads to both test and scale products on my stores, but I also use higher budget ads as well. You know, my kind of go-to is a $10 a day Facebook ad if I know the product works and I'm ready to scale it, or if the price point is right. But all in all, you can definitely use lower budget ads like $5 a day Facebook ads to get started. And this is great for someone who doesn't have a very big budget. So the two things you want to really exhaust when testing the product in the very beginning is you want to exhaust the region, because a lot of people test only one region, but many times products work great in one country and not another. One mistake I see a lot of beginners do is they'll only test in the United States when the product might not work there, but it works great in, say, Netherlands or Belgium or Russia or somewhere else. So that's where you're wanting to test a couple of different regions. And then also, as with one of the last few videos I talked about, you want to go ahead and test different interest sets. You know, you might go ahead and test some interests that don't work, and you're missing out on, you know, the product could have worked great with another interest set. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to one of my last few videos where I actually talk about different interests to go ahead and test the products with in the beginning, because that is going to come into play here. So one thing you want to do when creating these $5 a day Facebook ads is you want to go ahead and select your best country or best countries. You don't want to go ahead and just randomly choose, say, the big five, because you don't know if that's going to work. So for me, all in all, over my stores over the last 3 years, the United Kingdom has been one of the best countries for me. So rather than the United States, I'm actually going to go ahead and test my products using United Kingdom. Sometimes I'll test the United States, but for right here, for this example, let's go ahead and go United Kingdom. So then what we're going to do is for the detail targeting, for the interests, you want to go ahead and choose what you want to test with interest. So a lot of people will do single interest targeting. Some people do flex. I personally like testing products with stacking. Before I actually get to the split testing part, which I've talked about, I actually like to stack competitors. So using sunglasses as an example, like what I like to use, competitors of that would be, say, Ray-Ban, we could do Oakley, and you can go ahead and put in you know, different competitors of, you know, sunglasses or whatever store you're using. If you use competitors, like I've talked in many videos, competitors are a very close link and give Facebook a lot of initial data on the audience type to give it to. You know, if customers like Oakley or Ray-Ban, they are saying to Facebook they like those sunglasses, so they like the products that are very similar to your store. So that's where I typically start. I typically start with competitors, and I'll stack this up. Sometimes I only have one competitor in there, and sometimes I have 10. It really just depends on the audience size and what I'm going for. So then what we're gonna do, you wanna make sure you have this unchecked. This will go ahead and spend your daily budget if you leave this checked. So definitely make sure you uncheck that. We're gonna go ahead and put in $5 here. So that's gonna go ahead and create this one ad set. You know, next screen, you go ahead and create the ad, all of that. We go ahead and create this one ad set for the United Kingdom for these competitors. So that's one $5 a day ad. So then what you need to do, go through, do it again for the United Kingdom, but now you're going to use different interest sets. So use something other than competitors. So I've talked a lot about how I like using magazines as interest. That's another way you're getting very closely linked to your customers that you want to actually target. If you actually target customers that like magazine directly related to the product itself, that can work great. And there's many other interest types. Definitely go check out the other videos. So now you've got 2 $5 a day Facebook ads in the United Kingdom. Now what you're going to want to do, using those same interest types that you just used, do it again for at least 1, if not 2 other countries in a different region. So what I would do here is I would come through and create another $5 a day Facebook ad and say the Netherlands. And the great thing about doing something in the Netherlands is you can go ahead and stack up countries around that area. You want to make sure the demographic stays the same, but you could do, say, Netherlands, Denmark, maybe even Belgium, but go ahead and you can stack, maybe 1 to 3 countries within there, within a certain region, and then you can go ahead, use competitors again, and that's another $5 a day ad, and then for the same region, you'd go ahead and use that second interest set. So here, what we've got is, at a minimum, we've got 4 ad sets at $5 a day. We have 2 for the United Kingdom, and then say 2 for Netherlands. And then, if you're really wanting to exhaust the product really quick and test the product within, say, just 2 days, I would go ahead and add a third region in there. That could be United States and Canada, that could be Australia. Definitely go ahead and check out my countries list if you haven't already. But you can go ahead and do a third one. And so now you're actually technically running $30 a day, but you're going to exhaust that product really quick. You're going to have the data really quick. You don't have to do that. You could do 1 country, 2 ad sets at $5 a day. But that's how you can go through and really exhaust out both interests and regions to make sure the product works or doesn't work really quickly using just $5 a day ads. And then from there, once you actually have the product working, that's when we can get into the scaling. So this is something that I'm very excited to show you guys. This is something that I've been using just on this new store. I haven't been using this. I didn't use this in 2018. I didn't use this in 2017. This is a new strategy that's working right now, and it's working very well on how to scale very big. So my store that's done $200,000 in 3 months, this right here is a very big reason why. So this is how to actually scale using only $5 a day Facebook ads. So right here, you want to go ahead and first identify your profitable ad sets. So at this point, whether you've got your ad sets, you've started vertically scaling them, editing the budget, or duplicating them, however you're vertically scaling, so regardless of daily budget, you want to go ahead and identify the profitable ad sets. So they could be at $5 a day, they could be at $10 a day, they could be at $50 a day. You want to go ahead and identify these profitable ad sets, because this is what we're going to use to go ahead and scale this up. And the method that I'm going to show you right here, the scaling with the $5 a day ads, this is a great example of how to horizontally scale very quickly. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you know how much I preach horizontal scaling, how much I love horizontal scaling. This is an amazing example of how to horizontally scale very quickly. So then after you've identified those profitable ad sets, you want to go ahead and edit the budget of the ad set. So there's a big debate on, should you edit the budget of the ad, or should you just duplicate? Right now I'm actually using both, but one thing I've been using for years now is editing the budget. That's going with Facebook's advices, and it's one thing that I've seen work very well. Now, back in the day, I could edit the budget at a pretty high level, up to 50% sometimes. I could edit the budget up, and the ad set would stay very profitable. Right now, to stay safe, and what I'm seeing work best, is up to a 20% increase. So you never want to go ahead and edit the budget more than 20% at a time. What actually happens is you're actually changing the ID of the ad set itself if you make too big of a change, and all the learning that was attached to it is now gone. If you do 20% or under, you should be safe, and you still have all the learning attached, all of that's not too massive of a change. So if you're at $10 a day, go up to $12 a day. So what you want to first do is edit the budget of this profitable ad set. And you're going to do this for all of the profitable ad sets that you've identified. Now, this is where you're going to get into using the $5 a day ads, and this is where you're going to scale very quickly. So now you want to duplicate the profitable ad set 3 times at $5 a day. So if you were at $5 and you just edited the budget up to $6, you want to go ahead and now duplicate that 3 times at $5 a day. What's going to happen is if you have a profitable product, you have at least a decent, if not a golden winning product, you're going to be able to have at least 2, if not all 3 of these $5 a day ad sets profitable. And I'm going to show you how to clean this up and how to make sure you're scaling very properly using this in just a second. But this is where you're going to be adding a lot of ad sets very, very quickly and then being able to scale all of those up. One thing I've noticed lately that didn't apply as much as, say, 2017 is that the lower budget ad sets, so $5 a day, under $10 a day, those are the ones that are working very, very well. I've talked in recent videos about how instead of trying to have a lot of ad sets at a very high budget, now have tons of ad sets at a lower budget. It seems like they're stabilized better, they remain profitable for a lot longer, and the cost per conversion is a lot better on those. They're actually much higher profit margin than, say, an ad set that's at, say, $30 a day. Now, this is all dependent on product price as well. $5 a day Facebook ads, they're not going to work very well if you're trying to sell, a $900 product. If you're selling, a high ticket product, you definitely want to use higher budgets, but for most AliExpress products, these are working great. So after you've duplicated then 3 times at $5 a day, what you want to do is now duplicate it again, but now you're going to duplicate it 1 time, and this is where you're going to duplicate it now at a higher budget. So there's multiple strategies with duplicating that works. There's duplicating it multiple times at the same budget, duplicating it multiple times at a lower budget, like what we just did at point number 3 here. And then what we're also doing is we're exploiting duplicating at now a higher budget. This works most of the time for your decent or golden winning products, but not all the time. That's why, if you're going ahead and duplicating a $10 a day ad set up to, $20 a day, you don't want to go ahead and just create a ton of those because you don't know if all of them are going to work. You can do that if you want to get super aggressive, but I found the best way to remain extremely profitable is duplicating 4 times, 3 of those times at $5 a day, and then you have 1 at a higher budget. This right here, I would say, would be a little bit more optional. You can definitely scale great just using the $5 a day, but if you have the money and you've got a really, really good product and you're trying to scale very quickly, you can definitely do the scaling up with a 20% plus increase, up to 50%. Sometimes, you can even, if you really know the products work, scale it 100% or even more. So that's definitely a way to help scale really quickly. So then after you've done that, you want to go ahead and make sure you clean these up. So after 48 to 72 hours, because you need to give it time, you need to give these new ad sets time. They are new ad sets. Even though you duplicated from a known winning ad set, they are new ad sets with new IDs. They still have to go through a learning process. You don't want to go ahead and just kill them after 24 hours. I give it at least 48. Typically, I give it 72 hours. I'll go ahead and kill all the non-performing ad sets. So once they reach $15 or even $20 spent, then I'm gonna know if they're winning ad sets or not. Now, this is where I said, if you do have a decent or golden winning product, you should have most of them perform. You should have, at least 2/3, if not 3/4 of these new ad sets performing, and then you'll just kill off the other ones. And like I said, this is where you can really, really, really scale very quickly, because then after you've done that, after you've cleaned it up, that same time when you've gone through and killed off the bad ones, go ahead and repeat the process. But now when you're repeating the process, you're not only repeating the process with your ad sets you had before this, but now you've got new ad sets to go ahead and duplicate off of. Now this is where you can see how this can get pretty crazy really quick, because you're gonna have all your, let's say you have 5 performing ad sets, you're going ahead and duplicating from those. Now you've got 5 from each of these, and then 5, and it just really branches out. And this is the way to scale very, very quickly. And I've seen, if you do this, you do keep your profit margin pretty high when you're using the $5 a day ads. So this is definitely a very, very, very cool method that I've been using the last couple months, and it's working right now, and it's working very, very well. So to recap, you can definitely go ahead and test, and I suggest you testing a lot of products with AliExpress using $5 a day ads. You want to go ahead and test different regions and different interests to make sure you exhaust that. Because this is where to really test a product right, you need to go ahead and test regions, test different interest sets, and then you even need to test different ad copy, whether image or video, different copy in the ad itself. You need to test all of that. That's where it can get pretty expensive in the beginning when testing products. So that's where you definitely need to have your product research done. But using $5 a day ads, you can test a lot of these different variables at a very low cost. But then once you get all of that, you get the decent winning products, you can definitely scale up using this. This worked very well. And then you can get into lookalike audiences and all the other stuff. And this applies to lookalike audiences too. So definitely give this a shot. Let me know what you think of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found value in this video, please go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to answer any questions you guys have. Leave a comment of any videos you'd like me to do coming up here soon. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Keep grinding, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.